Explanation before addressing a question without notice to the Minister for Tourism on the topic of advertising South Australia.
Granted. Leave is granted.
Last week, the state hosted the Australian Tourism Exchange in Adelaide. I've been told by people who were at the event at Adelaide Oval that the promotional videos included aerial images of the parklands, accompanied by nature and birdlife sounds. In the same week, the Malinauskas Labor government cut down 585 trees in the parklands, which were habitat for birds and wildlife, reducing the biodiversity of the area. The Tourism Commission's own social media uses pictures of possums as promotional material for the festival season, and in the same week we saw the removal of possum habitat in the parklands. My question to the Minister for Tourism is, does the Minister think it's appropriate to use South Australia's unique parklands and possums to advertise our state, while at the same time destroying their habitat and removing the wildlife?
Minister.
The Australian Tourism Exchange is a unique event to have in South Australia. We haven't hosted it since 2018, and a lot has changed since 2018. I think that was a comment that was made multiple times throughout the event. 2,700 delegates came to South Australia. It's probably over 2,700 delegates to hear and see what South Australia has on offer. They came from over 30 different countries to be here, to literally experience South Australia. And I think time and time again, we were told repeatedly how lucky we are in South Australia, and I couldn't agree more. I think in South Australia, we know that the parklands are unique and special. And when we have been doing projects like we are at the moment with the upgrade of an existing golf course, we know that we need to get that balance right. And we know that we need to invest back into that site, just as the Adelaide City Council had also proposed to do over many years. The Adelaide City Council themselves had said that they wanted to invest in the Adelaide Golf Course. And so we have decided as a government to do just that, to invest in an existing golf course. And in doing so, there are 9,000 trees there at this point. And we know that we can increase that coverage with our plans by replacing one tree with 3. And we will be able to do that and increase that to over 10,000 trees. Now, when we look at other projects that we are undertaking in South Australia, this is not unique in the sense that when we invest in a site, we are increasing the tree canopy coverage. If we look at Majors Road, we delivered 300 mature trees, 225 native trees, and 44,000 shrubs. When we did the Adelaide Aquatic Centre, we returned over 1,000 square metres of parklands, delivering 350 new trees and 25,000 shrubs. Advised also with the T2D project, we'll contribute the largest handback of open urban green space with any infrastructure project of 26 hectares. Now that will enable over 2,000 new trees and advised also 500,000 new shrubs to be included into that new area that's open green space for the community to enjoy. When we look at the tram grade separation project, we've planted over 520 trees that have been advised, and also have been advised that there's 39,500 new shrubs and plants that will be included in that project. The Mundoon Island Station that we've purchased as a state government, which is 1,900 hectares that we can increase the national park by in the Coorong, making a significant national park. The Northern Parklands that we have said as a government that we would contribute to and create a new parklands will be, I think, over 34% larger than the existing parklands here in South Australia. I think with the exchange, the Tourism Exchange conference being here, what people did highlight to me is people come for a tourism experience, but what they've left with is our way of life, and that is what they appreciate about South Australia.
Supplementary.
Supplementary. Honourable Ms Selwood.
The Minister said that in some other projects they're replacing trees with mature trees. Why then did the government not support the Honourable Robert Sims amendments to the North Adelaide Golf Course Bill to replace the trees with mature trees in the golf course redevelopment?
Minister.
I think what you'll find is that we will be, as much as we can, using mature trees. We're already working with the Garnierta group to be able to go through and figure out what species of trees will be best to go into these new spaces. You have to remember that a lot of the trees that have been removed have either been introduced or invasive species that have come in. Actually, the vast majority, and also smaller shrub trees that have also been removed. What we are doing is setting aside and making sure that the trees can start growing, have the mature trees, as many as possible, go back into that space. Because we know that in the late 60s, I think 1969, this was a site that was created to be a golf course. And we know that those trees were planted in that site and have been growing since then. We also know that there's an opportunity for us now to invest back into this site and have more trees as a result.